They say that if you ever try to understand a Gemini, you'll lose yourself in the process, because inside the mind of this sign, nothing ever stays still. Their thoughts move like constellations, constantly shifting, connecting, separating, creating new patterns that few can follow. To know a Gemini is to enter a labyrinth made of light and shadow, logic and chaos, truth and illusion. It's beautiful, but it's dangerous too, because once you step in, you'll never see the world, or them, the same way again. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect and curiosity. But what people rarely understand is that Mercury's gift is also a curse. It gives Gemini a restless mind that never stops spinning, analyzing and questioning. They can read between lines, sense hidden emotions, and detect the smallest changes in energy. They are thinkers, observers and shapeshifters, always adapting, always decoding. But the same brilliance that allows them to understand everyone else often makes them feel misunderstood themselves. In the mind of a Gemini, there is no single version of reality. Every situation, every person, every feeling has 1,000 perspectives. While most people see the world in black and white, Gemini lives in the endless shades of gray in between. That's why they seem indecisive sometimes. It's not that they don't know what they want. It's that they see too much. Every possibility, every outcome, every hidden truth. Their mind is like a kaleidoscope, turning endlessly, showing new angles with every thought. But behind the quick wit and laughter, there's a constant inner dialogue, a voice that never goes silent. Gemini questions everything, including themselves. Why did I say that? Did I sound too cold, too emotional? What if they misunderstood me? Their intelligence is a double-edged sword. It keeps them ahead of everyone else, but it also keeps them awake at night, replaying conversations, analyzing moments, and imagining futures that never happened. People think Gemini is detached, but in truth, they feel everything deeply. They just don't always show it. Their emotions are private storms, hidden behind humor or distraction. When they're hurt, they'll make a joke. When they're falling apart, they'll change the subject. It's not dishonesty, it's survival, because vulnerability for a Gemini isn't easy. It means giving someone access to their mind, and that's the most sacred, chaotic place they have. Inside, there's constant motion. One side of them is craving connection, intimacy, understanding. The other side is desperate for freedom, silence, and space. They love people, but they fear being trapped by them. They crave attention, but also need distance to recharge. This duality isn't confusion, it's balance. It's what makes Gemini the twin sign, not two faces pretending, but two truths coexisting. When Gemini loves, they love through words, through endless conversations that go from the cosmic to the intimate. They want to know every layer of you, every hidden dream, every strange thought you've never spoken aloud. And when they trust you enough to share their own, consider it sacred, because Geminis don't open that easily. Behind their charm, there's always a protective wall built from past disappointments and overthinking. They remember every time someone judged them for changing their mind, every time they were called fake just for evolving. They are not two-faced, they are multidimensional. Gemini doesn't wear masks. They are the mask and the truth beneath it, both at once. Their personality shifts not because they're inconsistent, but because they reflect the energy around them. They are mirrors, showing you who you are through the way they respond. Some people love them for this, others can't handle it. But that's the paradox. Everyone wants to understand Gemini, yet few can handle the complexity once they do. Gemini's intelligence is emotional and mental at the same time. They can read the mood of a room before anyone speaks. They sense tension like static in the air. That's why they can adapt so fast. It's instinct, it's survival. Their mind has evolved to stay one step ahead, always adjusting, always analyzing. But that same awareness can become exhausting. Sometimes they wish they could just feel without thinking, to stop over-analyzing every word, every silence, every look. The mind of a Gemini is both a blessing and a battlefield. They fight between their logic and their heart, between wanting to belong and needing to be free. It's not that they don't know who they are, it's that they are many things at once. They are poets and scientists, dreamers and skeptics, lovers and loners. They carry contradictions like constellations within their soul, and somehow it all makes sense, at least to them. But here's the secret no one ever tells you about Gemini. They don't want to be understood completely. Because the moment you understand them, the mystery dies. And Gemini lives for mystery, for discovery, for movement. Their curiosity is infinite, and once they've figured something out, they lose interest. Not because they don't care, but because their mind is wired to chase the unknown. They crave novelty like oxygen. That's why they seem to drift from one passion to another, from one person to the next. It's not instability, it's evolution in motion. To keep a Gemini's attention, you have to challenge their mind. You have to feed their curiosity, make them think, make them wonder. When a conversation feels like a maze instead of a straight line, that's when they feel alive. They don't want perfection. They want connection through discovery. The mind of a Gemini doesn't crave comfort. It craves expansion. But the deeper truth is that Gemini's brilliance often isolates them. They can connect with anyone, yet still feel alone. Because while everyone else is speaking in sentences, Gemini is thinking in galaxies. Their thoughts spiral into places few can reach, and when they try to explain it, words sometimes fail. That's why they use humor, stories, metaphors, not just to entertain, but to translate the complexity inside them into something others can grasp. Still, there are moments when even they get lost in their own labyrinth. Times when they can't tell which version of themselves is the real one, the charming talker or the quiet thinker, the lover or the loner. In those moments, they disappear, they pull back, isolate, recharge. They vanish, not to forget, but to remember who they are beneath all the roles they play. And when they return, they're often different, new, refreshed, changed again. People call it inconsistency, but to Gemini, it's rebirth. They don't believe in staying the same, they believe in becoming. That's why trying to figure them out is a mistake. You don't figure out Gemini, you experience them. Like wind, you feel them when they pass through, but you can't hold them. If you ever get close enough to truly see inside their mind, you'll find something unexpected. Peace in the chaos. A strange kind of harmony between their contradictions. They can laugh while they're hurting, forgive while remembering, and love even when they've already moved on. They've accepted that duality isn't a flaw, it's their nature. They are the middle ground between extremes, the bridge between logic and emotion, thought and instinct. And maybe that's why they fascinate everyone, because Gemini represents what we all secretly are, constantly changing, constantly searching, never fully satisfied, but always moving forward. They remind us that we're not meant to be just one thing, that we can outgrow, reinvent, and reimagine ourselves as many times as we need. So, when people call Gemini unpredictable, detached, or confusing, they're only seeing one layer. The truth is, Gemini feels everything. They just process it faster than most. Their detachment isn't coldness, it's protection. Because when your mind runs at the speed of light, you can't afford to drown in every emotion that passes through. They choose their moments carefully, when to speak, when to vanish, when to reveal, when to hide. And deep down, there's always that one part of Gemini that no one ever reaches, the quiet, observing twin who watches everything but says nothing. The part that analyzes the world in silence, creating stories, ideas, and dreams they might never share. That's the real mystery. Not what they show, but what they don't. The part of their mind that stays hidden, like a locked constellation no telescope can see. If you're lucky enough to earn their trust, you'll glimpse it. You'll see the thoughts they guard, the emotions behind their laughter, the warmth behind their teasing. You'll understand that every word, every silence, every sudden change of topic hides a layer of meaning. that their contradictions are not confusion, but depth. And once you've seen that, you'll never call them inconsistent again. You'll call them human, amplified. Because Gemini is everything life is: unpredictable, brilliant, restless, emotional, curious, and endlessly evolving. Inside their mind lives both the storm and the stillness after it. And maybe that's why the world can't look away, because in their chaos, we recognize a piece of our own. So if you ever find yourself drawn to a Gemini, don't try to decode them. Don't ask them to choose between their sides. Just listen, watch, learn. Let them be all that they are. And you'll discover that the truth about Gemini isn't hidden in their words, but in their silence. And if you've ever felt like no one really understands you, if you've ever carried too many thoughts inside your mind, maybe that's why you're here. Maybe a part of you is Gemini. If this journey through the Gemini mind resonated with you, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and keep exploring the zodiac world with us, because there's always another layer of truth waiting to be discovered.